Hey guys, it's me Tilly, and today I'm back with another update video for Vindictus. This time around it's gonna be less about a game update, but more so about news related to the game that we got. There's 3 different parts to this video. The first one is gonna be the developer Q&A which we got. The second one is gonna be about new events related to the 10th anniversary of the game. And the third one is probably the reason why you clicked on this video. It's about the new character Kael and his semi-announcement. You will find timestamps to all of these as always down below in the description, so feel free to skip forward to whichever one you're looking forward to the most, or rewatch something that you might find particularly interesting. With this being said, let's start with the developer Q&A, and for this one I was genuinely surprised how much effort they put into it, because last time around we got one of those developer Q&As. It was just in text form. They just did a very lazy job of just responding to some of the questions, and I was expecting the same thing this time around. However, we actually got a neat video and some interview style type of scene. Link to the video will, by the way, also be down below in the description if you have not seen it yet. But let me just go through the questions and also the answers and what I think about the Q&A, because prior to its release I was spreading some negative vibes about how they will probably pick some of the less relevant questions and just answer them with some basic and default answer, and spoiler alert, it kind of happened, but it also kind of didn't. So let's go over all of the questions. The second question was asking the team which character they main, and sadly only one of the developers got to answer this question, which I think is kind of sad. If there's a question like this next one, maybe you want to give everybody that you're interviewing just like a 10-second clip of, oh, I main this character because I like him so much, yada yada. However, the guy that actually answered this question was one of the lead game designers who used to play Glyphlin. Props to you, because that's actually a very interesting class to play. However, he very recently switched to Lether, and he also gave us a nice quote. It's because of the straightforward combat style. You know, if you play Glyphlin for a while, maybe he deserves some easier combat, but to anybody asking why Lether is so OP right now, there you go. The third question was about plans of updating the guilds or the guild housing in general. And there's a very short answer to this. They are looking to add new guild dungeons, but beyond that they're not really looking to revamp the guild system as a whole. There might be some fine-tuned guild related contents, but apparently, not apparently, obviously we are not getting a full revamp to match BDO's guild system or something like this. The fourth question was about something that people have been speculating about ever since the dawn of the game, and it's the robe slot on your avatar equipment. And the question was, will it ever be used? And the easy answer to this again is no. The robe slot, when it was like put into the game, was just a work in progress just in case and stuff like that. And they are looking to kind of remove it or even replace it. And here's something that they said, which I'm not sure how I should feel about it. There will be something else sooner than we expected. I'm not a fan when game developers speak about soon, because it could mean anything from like next week to like at the end of next year. So I myself wouldn't expect anything soon, right? Just keep it in the back of your mind that eventually we might get some new stuff. The next question is one that I was hoping not to see on this list, yet I am still not disappointed by it, because it is a question they answered in the last Q&A, and it's basically, will there ever be secondary weapons for characters? To which we already know the answer, no, there will not be, right? Because new characters just make them more money, but the way they worded it was pretty cool. Like, they said how when they release a secondary weapon for a already existing character, they're kind of limited and restrained to what the character feels like. They don't really want to release a secondary weapon that feels like an enter new character, right? They want to stay true to the character design. Thus, they felt kind of forced to do certain things with the secondary weapon, and releasing new characters with entirely new weapons that's gonna free them up to do more funky stuff, I guess. The next question is like one of the easiest to answer. It's very short. Will there be a new character this year? Because the question was asked due to the recent spam of characters where we get one every 6 months, and the answer is just yes, they're trying to push it out by the end of this year. This obviously is for the Korean server, so all of you QnA friends, we will have to wait like another 6 months for this new character, obviously. The next question is a rather in-depth one, and one that I usually don't care about, but the way, again, they worded it, it's a very interesting one. Like, it's one of the patterns I'm seeing in this Q&A, where them actually sitting down and talking to us gets us more in-depth views on all of the things we think about and we want to know about. Basically, the answer, or the question was if they can give us a hint towards the end of Vindictus' story. And to that they said they don't know yet. They're not really planning towards a great end. They're just going along with the story, and they themselves are even interested to see what the end will be like, if there is even gonna be an end, right? So that's pretty cool. For the next question, the developer was asked whether there's any particular inspiration when they're designing new bosses or redeemers. And I feel like they kind of semi-dodged the question, but as for their answer, the lead artist told us that whenever he or they are designing a new boss, they want to make the experience unique and different from anything there is in the game so far. So most often they go through what's already in the game and think about, ooh, why has that not been added to the game? Or what is there that we can still do? Something like this, right? So they're less drawing inspiration from another game, from another source. They're just trying to come up with new things. Yeah, so that's why I also said they kind of dodged the question, because obviously they want to come up with new things, but they didn't really tell us if there are any particular things they're drawing inspiration from, which maybe as a game developer you don't really want to tell people who you're stealing from. But anyway, I think it's a decent answer, as most of them actually. For the next question, they were asked what the priorities are when they're working on a new character, and I think it's a rather obvious answer. It's the weapon, right? The weapon is like 90% of the character. They also mentioned the overall silhouette, so how big their tits are. I mean, how tall or how small, female, male, obviously female most of the times, but whenever we get a new character, right, you first just see their shadow. And something like this, I feel like, for example, on Belle, you notice how it's a very short character with a giant axe. On something like Era, you noticed how it's a medium height female with just dual pistol wielding. Stuff like that is something they are also in the early stages very curious about. And they also said how they're not looking to release characters with a weapon that is similar to a real life weapon. So there will never be such a stupid weapon as I don't know, like a bow, right? For the next question, it's gonna be about the 64-bit client and the 60 FPS cap. So this is one of the most important questions, I feel like, because they said, like even before this Q&A, that they are trying to roll out the 64-bit client to all players across the world in the first half of 2021. That's already huge. And in this Q&A, they basically doubled down on it. They want to push it as soon as possible. They're working hard on making it a thing. However, with that being said, the 64-bit client and the 60 FPS cap, they're not related to one another. This is, I think, new information for most of us. Because the game itself has a high importance on the physics, such as multi-hits and stuff like that, calculating whether you got hit or on stuff like that. And because of it, they can't really have different players have different FPS. Like, they can't put a setting which allows players to go to 144, to unlimited, because it would cause discrepancies within the gameplay, where, I don't know, maybe you might actually have beneficial gameplay. Maybe you might actually be just better on like 500 FPS. Obviously, I guess, right? But because high, what did they call it again? I think like high refresh monitors and high PC specs. Once those are a thing, or a wider spread thing, they will look to update the FPS cap. So for now, 60 FPS will stay, but only until all of you guys go out there and get yourself a 144 Hz monitor. I'm getting mine just this month, I'll promise, and yeah, together we can make a change to the FPS cap. On to the second to last questions. It's about the voice actors for the English voices, and they basically said some of them are selected through auditions, like just regular auditions. They're posting the offer, and then people come and be like, "Ooh, it's a me, hero," right? And for one specific, they mentioned Lether. They hand selected the voice actress because they just liked the vibe and just they felt she were very fitting for the role. And honestly, I too think so. I think Lether has a pretty decent voice actress. And onto the last question they answered in this specific Q&A. It's about changes to the combat system. Will there be environmental elements? Will there be a change to the 4-man raid system? And no. And no. Right now they're not really looking into stuff like this. The 4-man raid concept will stand true for a long period of time, I guess. The only exceptions obviously being Redeemers and raids like Kolru, the special one. However, they also said if somebody on the team is able to come up with a fun idea, they may have an exception to the rule, right? There may be Kolru 2.0 where you need. Okay, on to the second part of today's video, the 10-year anniversary related events. So, there's actually 3 of them that started today, and there's gonna be a 4th one which will start in 2 weeks. I'm gonna guide you through them real fast. There's not much that you need to know about it. So let's start with the first one. It's gonna be happening right now for 1 week. It's just a special hot time event. You know them. You can depart for battles an additional time. You get double AP, EXP and proficiency plus proficiency speed. So if you still have not leveled up a proficiency, now's the time. Again, it's only a week. This is a rather short one, so make use of it. The second one is gonna be another check-in event. They seem to just know how much we love those check-in events, right? I'll go over the rewards in just a second, because on the third event, it's actually a type of an event that we haven't had in over 2 years. And whoever came up with the idea of it, you're now my very favorite developer, because we finally got another fishing event. It's been so long. Thank you. As for the rewards, they again they're okay. But I don't know, maybe we'll have like a fishing stream one day, who knows. It's actually also going on for, 3 weeks? So that's pretty cool. As for the one that will only start next week, it's the Niflheim event. So basically, for this week we get 1 additional departure everywhere, and then the next week it's gonna be about Niflheim, where we can depart another time and where we also get event keys basically. On the Discord notification, there was a golden bracelet icon being used to advertise this event. So to everybody who's still looking to get a golden bracelet, me included, this might be your time to shine. And I myself, I'm hoping for it, and I'm looking forward to it. Like, I still need golden bracelets. Next one, please. It's your 10th anniversary, please. But anyway, let's get into the rewards for the 1-day attendance event. This is actually going on for, again, 3 weeks, but it's only featuring 10 days. So you don't have to nail every single day, apparently. That's what I get, at least. For the first day, it's a realized toy, where if you use it, there's gonna be some fireworks. It's birthday things, I guess. For the second day, you'll get a title, which is exclusive, I guess. Third day, fatigue potions, they're whatever. On the fourth day, we start getting into the interesting territories, because you get 3 grade 2 shards. I expect that you can choose which one. For the 5th day, you get a lot of pet EXP, which goes well with the 10th day, where you get a gremlin. On the 6th day, you will get departure licenses 10. I guess it's cool. You'll probably be able to save them until like a new raid releases. The 7th day is actually crazy, like 100 steel, just like this. There you go. And I cannot see any level restraints. That means, yeah, go get your Milesian stuff, honestly. On the 8th day, we'll get a stool, a birthday stool. It's, I guess, cool to anybody who does not have an object yet, to get the fatigue from the object once per day, and maybe even some object points for your dressing room. As I said, 9th day, there's going to be a gremlin, especially good for anybody who does not have a pet that grants an additional drop for dungeons, because I expect this one to have one, but might be wrong, don't quote me please. And on the 10th day, we actually get the same thing as Korea got, which is the character specific armor as an outfit. And this is the one where I'm very confused by. This is again something where I go like, you did not properly plan this next one, did you? Because we already get these as a part of the check-in, like the checkered flag event. So now we get 2 of them. This just feels awkward, but at least like this, if you were torn in between getting your character armor and like the all-star picture, you won't have to choose, right? You can get your armor here and the all-star picture from the login event. Let's again talk real fast about the fishing event, because every time you do fish, there's a chance for you to get, oh, the posts, by the way, you get them on the boat, so just enter the fishing boat and then talk to the owl. Whenever you fish, there's a chance for you getting on this potion right here. It's basically a merc potion, which restores HP. You will be able to get a snippet of a coupon. You need 4 snippets to get one of the coupons. Or the third is a rarity box. The rarity box, basically TLDR, can contain anything that is part of this exchange shop, right? Let's go over the exchange shop real fast. The Gubino Stone Plus is actually a must get out of this. If you did not max out your storage chests, I think this one is also pretty good. And beyond it, the premium enhancement runes for armors are pretty good. They're sadly time limited, so that's a meh. And yeah, apart from that, just get whatever you want to get. Okay, on to the third topic for today. It's about Kael. They again use this ominous word soon at the end of this video, as you will see. In my opinion, there's one out of 2 things that will happen. Either he will be released actually soon, which is gonna be on the late November update, without any pre-registration, without any pre-events, and he will just go live. Or what they will most likely be doing is on late November, when the update is gonna be, they will announce him officially with some pre-events and stuff like that for us to get him on late December. That's my take on it. Who knows? We may be surprised, but I think it's fair to say that he will happen this year. But yeah, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching the video. I know it's a rather lengthy one, but there's actually a few things to talk about today. That's pretty cool. Who would have thought after such a disappointing update last week? And maybe that's something that I can, if Nexon is actually watching. I'm just very disappointed by the way they handled this last week, right? Having such a downtime in a time where it's around your 10th anniversary is just not healthy. They should have either communicated with us that, like last week, oh guys, next week there's gonna be something huge for you. Or they should have pushed it a week earlier. They should have extended the events that ran out last week, stuff like that, right? Just have either very good communication or have filler events to bridge the gap that was there. With that being said, I guess enjoy your new events, enjoy the waiting for Kael, and have a great time. Bye!